Hi, I am Yashwant and my USN is 1VE22 EC 126. I am from Venkateshwara College of Engineering and I am studying in 4th SEM ECE. Today's my topic is amplitude modulation and introduction to amplitude modulation. Amplitude modulation is a fundamental technique in ratio communication where the amplitude of high frequency carrier signals is varied in the propagation to message signals. This allows the transmission of information over all the distance using the radiation waves. Next, principle of amplitude modulation. There are three types: carrier signals, modulations, message signals. Carrier signals. A high frequency carrier waves is generated which serves as the foundation for amplitude modulation. Second, message signals. The information to be transmitted is encoded into the message signal such as radio or data. Third, modulation. The message signals is used to vary the amplitude of the carrier signals, creating the amplitude modulation waveforms. Next, advantages of amplitude modulation. Simple transmitter design. A simple transmitter design. Amplitude modulation transmitters are relatively straightforward and cost efficient to the design and manufacture. Second, Roche signals. Amplitude modulation signals are less affected by the interference and atmospheric condition compared to the other modulation techniques. Third, efficient power utilization. Amplitude modulation signals used to available power sufficient, making them a practical choosing for the wave applications. Next, disadvantages of amplitude modulations: susceptible to the noise, limited bandwidth, low frequency efficiency. Amplitude modulation signals are more prone to interference and noise compared to the other modulation methods which are degraded the signal quality. Second, limited bandwidth. The bandwidth required for amplitude modulation signals is relatively high, limited the number of channels that, that can be transmitted in a given frequency spectrum. Low frequency efficiency. Amplitude modulation signals are less efficient in transmitted of frequency utilization compared to the other modulation techniques such as frequency modulation. Next, applications of amplitude modulation: radio broadcast, military communications, industrial control systems, remote control systems. Amplitude modulation is widely used for the traditional radio broadcasting, providing a reliable meaning of transmitted audio signals over long distance. Military communications. Amplitude modulation is often used to military applications such as ship to shore communications and emergency radio services. Industrial control systems. Amplitude modulation signals are used in the industrial controls and automation systems for transmitting the data and control signals over the short distance. Remote control system. An amplitude modulation is utilized in the remote control systems such as for graded door opens and model aircraft due to its simplicity and range. Next, amplitude modulation transmitter design, carrier generation, modulation and amplification. First, carrier generation. The first step is to generate a high frequency carrier signals using an oscillator circuit. Second, modulation. The message signal is then used to vary the amplitude of carrier, creating an amplitude modulation waveforms. Third, amplification. The modulating signals is amplified to the described power level for transmission. Next, amplitude modulation receiver designs. First, antenna. Receives an amplitude modulation signal from the transmitter. Turner selects the described channel by filtering out unwanted signals. Demodulation. External or the original messages signal from the amplitude modulation waveforms. Audio amplifier amplifies the demodulated signals to drive the speaker or headphones. Next, conclusion and future trends. Con- Continued resilience, hybrid opportunities, emergency applications. First, despite the rise of digital communication, amplitude modulation remains an important technique in various applications, especially in the radio broadcast and legend system. Second, hybrid opportunities. There are originating efforts to the communicate amplitude modulation with the digital techniques such as digital amplitude modulation to demodulation to to im- improve signal quality and bandwidth efficiency. Emergency applications as as a demand for the wireless communication continues growth to amplitude modulation, many find new applications in areas like industrial automation, IoT, and low power sensor networks.